All right. Yahweh Skendo, I'm thankful you are well. Thank you for joining us today in this special place. Each of the 5 trees in this circle has faces carved into them. Like many things, knowledge of exactly who made the carvings or how old they are has been lost to time. What we do know is that each face represents different beings or people. We have a native man over there. We also have, this looks like a Viking over here, and another settler face over here. There's also 2 that are rather strange. There's that one way up higher above the other one. Looks like a stone face, hairy, maybe even a giant. And then behind me we have a strange looking an effigy of some sort. So what are these? So we believe that each of these tree carvings can tell us stories about our past and the past of this land. They can also tell us how to come together in the unity for a better future, for thorough understanding. We'll be starting with this one here. The strong carved face. It reminds us of the stone faces that are carved far in the southern part of our world. I believe in a place called Easter Island maybe, or maybe even of the ancient Aztecs. Those stone heads are another mystery lost to time, but it's believed they were depicting their gods. All of our oral histories have been handed down for thousands of years and across tens of thousands of miles as our ancestors spread out across this land and started new cultures. Whether nomads from the plains or northeast farmers, southern builders and warriors, very few indigenous cultures throughout the Americas are interchangeable. Each has their own unique languages, customs, rituals, and beliefs. However, one thing that has been very similar among all people of this land is that our creation stories have a lot in common with one another, as if we share the same beginnings. So to show that the stone faces here represent our gods and where we come from, I'd like to share one version of our creation story. This one comes from my people, the Haudenosaunee. The Haudenosaunee have always recognized that people are complex, possessing both good and bad qualities. The creation story serves as a reminder that no human is flawless. The Great Spirit alone is perfect. This is a story that our mothers and grandmothers would tell us about the birth of the evil spirits and the good spirit. Long ago, the earth was deep beneath the water, as if from a great flood. There was a vast darkness because no sun or moon or stars shone above. The only creatures living above the surface on the dark world were the water animals, such as the beaver, the muskrat, the duck, or the loon. Far above the water-covered earth was the land of the happy spirits, where the Great Spirit dwelled. In the center of this upper realm was the giant apple tree with roots that sank deep into the ground. One day the Great Spirit pulled the tree up from its roots, and creating a pit in the ground, the Great Spirit called to his daughter, who lived in the upper world. He commanded her to look into the pit. The woman did as she was told and peered through the hole. In the distance she saw the lower world covered by water and clouds. The Great Spirit spoke to his daughter, telling her to go into this world of darkness. He told her that this new place is where she should start her family and bring new life and light to this world. He then tenderly picked her up and dropped her in the hole. This was the duty of the spirits. The woman, who would be called Sky Woman by those watching her fall, began to slowly float downward. As Sky Woman continued her descent, the water animals looked up. Far above them, they saw a great light that was Sky Woman. The animals were initially afraid because of the light emanating from her. In their fear, they dove beneath the waves. The waters eventually conquered their fear and came back up to the surface to watch, waiting. Now they were concerned about the woman and what would happen to her when she reached the water, for they could see that she didn't have flippers, wings, or a tail with which to swim like they did. The beaver told the others that they must find a dry place for her to rest upon. The beaver plunged deep beneath the water in search of earth. He was unsuccessful no matter how far down he swam, until he drowned. The loon was the next creature to try and find some earth. He too was unsuccessful. Many others tried, but each animal failed, each giving their lives to try and help this falling spirit. At last, the muskrat said he would try. When his dead body floated to the top, his little claws were clenched tight. The others opened his claws and found a little bit of earth, and with it, hope. The water animals summoned a great turtle and patted the earth upon its back. At once the turtle grew and grew, as did the amount of earth. This earth became the first island. During all this time, Sky Woman continued her gentle fall. The leader of the swans grew concerned as Sky Woman's approach grew imminent. He gathered a flock of swans that flew upward and allowed Sky Woman to rest upon their backs. With great care, they placed her upon the newly formed earth. Soon after her arrival, Sky Woman gave birth to many children. There were 3 daughters, triplets. They were Beans, Corn, and Squash. These 3 sisters nourished the earth as well as their animal friends who had cared for her, and would also nourish the other creations soon to come. Sky Woman also gave birth to twin sons. The firstborn son became known as the Good Spirit. The other twin caused his mother so much pain that she died during his birth. He was to be known as the Evil Spirit. The Good Spirit took his mother's brilliant head and hung it in the sky, and it became the sun. The Good Spirit also fashioned the stars and the moon from his mother's body. He buried the remaining parts of Sky Woman under the earth. Thus, living things may always find nourishment from the soil, for it springs from Mother Earth. This pleased his sisters too, and they grew strong enough to grow throughout the land and feed everyone. But while the Good Spirit provided light, the Evil Spirit created the darkness. The Good Spirit created many things, but each time his brother would attempt to undo his good work. The Good Spirit made the tall and beautiful trees, including the pines and the hemlock. The Evil Spirit, to be contrary, stunted some of the trees or put gnarls and knots in their trunks. Other trees he covered in thorns or poisoned their fruit. The Good Spirit made bear and deer. The Evil Spirit made poisonous animals such as lizards and serpents to destroy the animals created by his brother. When the Good Spirit made springs and streams of pure crystal water, the Evil Spirit poisoned some places and put snakes in others. The Good Spirit made beautiful rivers. The Evil Spirit pushed rocks and dirt into the rivers, creating swift and dangerous currents. Everything the Good Spirit made, his wicked brother attempted to destroy. After the Good Spirit completed the earth, he created Haudenosaunee Man out of red clay. Placing the man upon the earth, the Good Spirit instructed the man about how he should live. He made other races too, out of the yellow bark of the tree, out of black soil, and out of white sea foam. Though the Good Spirit breathed life into each of these, the Evil Spirit would whisper into their ears all the same. These humans couldn't live together at first, as they were at constant war. Each race was separated and put into each of the 4 corners of the world. The world is still carried by a giant sea turtle over the endless waters, and the different races still make war with each other. Upon completion of his work, the Good Spirit bestowed a protecting spirit upon all of his creations. This done, he called his brother and told him he must cease making trouble. The Evil Spirit emphatically refused. The Good Spirit became enraged at his brother's wickedness. He challenged his evil twin to combat. The winner would become the ruler of the world. For the weapons, they used the thorns of the giant apple tree. The battle raged on for many days. The Good Spirit triumphed, overcoming his evil brother, and the Good Spirit took his place as the ruler of the earth and banished his brother to a dark cave under the ground. In this cave, the Evil Spirit was to remain. The Evil Spirit, however, has wicked servants who do his bidding and roam upon the earth. The wicked spirits are able to take any form and cause men to do evil things. This is the reason that everyone has both good heart and bad heart. Regardless of how good a man is, he still possesses some evil. The reverse is also true, for however evil man may be, he still has some good qualities. No man is perfect or perfectly evil. The Good Spirit continues to create and protect mankind. It is the Good Spirit who controls the spirits of good men upon their death. His wicked brother takes possession of the souls of those who are evil like himself, and so it remains. Maybe this story has connections to other stories you have heard, or maybe it's wildly different from what you were taught. But we all still strongly believe that we are people of the earth, caretakers of this land we have found, and are capable of both good and evil. Those are the beliefs that we all likely share, and hopefully that you are here to listen to our stories. It means that you have an open mind and heart. As you go forth, think of all the ways that things you love may have flaws, but you love them anyway, and how things that are evil can often beget some good. This is the balance of all things. Now you have heard our creation story. Probably all of us have heard the Christian creation story from the book of Genesis. Native children are even made to memorize it when many of us are sent away in the church-run schools. But we know that not all in this land are Christian, and there are many who practice their own old ways, even in this so-called New World. One of the faces on these trees is that of a Viking, this one over here. So as you've heard our creation story, next we've asked our Nordic friend Thorvald Einarsson to share the stories of the Norse gods and the Tree of Life. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Well done, brother.
It was.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey.
Oh, thank you there, Abraham. It was beautiful hearing your story. Can everybody hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Well, as many of you might know, uh, the Norse don't worship a single god. We worship many gods. You know, we have Odin, our Allfather, as our chieftain. But all people come from a place, as we all know. Well, my god's kind